Hi there, and welcome to Wear Your Damn Knits. I'm Heather, and I don't always wear my damn knits. This podcast is all about changing that. I'm not doing a wear something hand knit every day challenge or anything like that. Instead, we'll look at outfit ideas and talk about ways to make it easier to wear our damn knits. So let's get started. What keeps me from wearing my damn knits? Absolutely, number one is easy access. I have a lot of clothes and a fairly small house, so things get squirreled away, and out of sight really can be out of mind. I'm working on a new storage system for my knits, which will be a future episode topic. The challenge is to protect the knits I spent time, effort, and money to create while still keeping them front and center. I'd love to hear your ideas on how you store all of your damn knits. Another thing that keeps me from wearing my damn knits is simply laziness. I work from home most of the time. I do get dressed every day, but I find I reach for a striped shirt and cardigan, not usually a hand knit one, 75% of the time. When I do a little planning, I'm much more likely to branch out and wear something hand knit. And sometimes I don't wear my damn knits because I'm afraid of damaging them or facing criticism or taking a style risk and maybe looking a little cheesy. I'm talking to you, shawls. Yeah, we're going to get over that. So today I'm wearing my Boxy Worsted by Joji Locatelli. She has quite a few different versions of the Boxy. There's a V-neck Boxy, there's a lace and fade Boxy, a cardigan, a child's. I've made the Worsted Boxy. I live in Minnesota. It tends to be pretty cold here, and I also hate knitting garments and fingering weight yarn. I really don't like to go below a DK. So I made the Worsted Boxy. Great pattern with lots of positive ease. I made this out of Malabrigo Rios in the Vulcan colorway. I knit the large with an enlarged sleeve circumference because I have serious arms and needed a little more room. And I did make the body a little longer as well. This was my first garment knit in superwash wool, so I didn't really know how the superwash would behave. This sweater has stretched. I'm actually going to be putting it in the washer and in the dryer for a little while. So hopefully cinch it up a little bit. It's just gotten really slouchy. I love it. It's super comfortable, but I just want it a little bit more polished than slouchy. It's a great pattern. I love the sweater. I love the yarn, love the color. Bottom up sweaters are not my favorite, but I do like to mix it up every once in a while. And I would definitely knit another one of these. This is a great pattern. I might even make the sleeves, these little T-Rex sleeves, a little bit longer the next time I make it. So it's nice to have, especially a worsted sweater with a little bit longer sleeve. Let's take a look at wearing the Boxy 3 different ways. So I came up with 3 different style families, we'll call them. The first one is the everyday classic, and that's a basic look I'd wear, well, every day. Think jeans, casual shoes, maybe some fun accessories. Next, we have the elevated workday. It's a little more polished with third pieces like a shirt underneath or something on top, trousers or skirts, and some professional elements. And then our final look is what I'm calling the wild card. This is something that's unexpected, at least unexpected for me. You might look at it and say, that's something I wear on a Tuesday. It's something out of my standard sort of classic with a twist repertoire. So what I'm hoping is that you and I get some inspiration from all of this. You'll notice that in all of these looks, the accessories are subtle and the pants and the skirt are slim. I'm short and curvy, so I feel most comfortable when I have more balanced proportions and when I show my waist. For the everyday classic look, I've paired my Boxy with a pair of Madewell Perfect Vintage jeans. This is a slightly tapered style in a medium wash, so keeping it very simple. Red Wing Chelsea boots, a stack of bangles, and a goldenrod mini handbag by Fry. My goal here was to embrace the boxy without making myself look too rectangular. I think I've achieved that. I hope I've achieved that with these proportions. For the elevated workday look, I paired the boxy over a white button down, I think from Old Navy, with a pair of camel Liverpool trousers, Clark's oxblood heeled Oxfords, and a deep brown tote that can hold a laptop. Added a little bit of polish here to keep it office appropriate without being too formal. I know most of us don't have to dress up too much for the office anymore, but sometimes it can be nice to just add a little bit of polish. Finally, for the wild card look, I've paired the boxy with a burgundy faux leather skirt. I think I found it at Nordstrom Rack, a mixed metal bracelet, a cute brown Kate Spade handbag, and some embroidered Nine West pumps that I have had for 25 years. Some of my favorite shoes, and I'm always excited when I can pull them out. This one is a wild card for me simply because it's not something I would have ever thought to pull together. I went into my closet and started digging and came up with this. I think it turned out pretty well, but again, it's a wild card for me. My goals really here are to think about my own wardrobe differently, but also to get ideas from all of you. I'd love it if you would share how you wear your damn knits, right? Let's get inspired. Let's inspire each other and take a few risks without getting risky, right? I recently finished the Spindrift Shawl by Helen Stewart. I actually knit it in a solid. I'll share it next time. It's blocking right now. But I knit it in a solid because I mentioned striped t-shirts. I wear a lot of striped t-shirts. And I realized that all of my shawls were patterned or variegated yarn. So I wanted something that was more tonal. So that is what you will see next time. I also recently finished a cabled hat. So nothing too exciting. Again, it's blocking. I also recently finished a hat and matching hand warmers for a swap, but I'm keeping those secret. So you're not going to see those. I've been actively working on only 2 projects, and they're both gifts. First, I have a pair of socks. Now, I don't know why, but when I knit magic loop, which I knit a lot magic loop, I hate double pointed needles. You'll notice this is inside out. I don't know why, but when I knit magic loop, I knit into the back needle rather than the front needle. I don't know why. So my magic loop is always inside out. It looks perfectly normal when I'm done, but when I'm knitting it, it just looks a little strange. This yarn is by Mud Punch, Chantel out of Canada. Hi, Chantel. Great job. Great yarn. Love your yarn. This is in the Octopus Garden colorway. One moment. All of my socks are knit 2 at a time, toe up, from this book by Melissa Morgan Oakes. I do kind of a Frankenstein vanilla sock. I use numbers from this particular sock, but then I don't do the slip stitch pattern when I'm doing self-striping sock yarn. I also, on this one, did an Eye of Partridge heel because I had not done one before. So rather than a standard slip stitch heel, I did an Eye of Partridge. I like it. I would do it again. Plan to do it again. So just to really see what the differences are. I love the 2 at a time toe up for a few reasons. First, I just like getting them done. The very first pair of socks I knit for my husband on double pointed needles. It was the first time I'd used double pointed needles. Started them over like 8 times because I kept getting ladders. Took me over a year to finish the first one, finished it, did the second one pretty quickly once I'd gotten the rhythm. Ran out of yarn, about that much left in the toe. Had to go buy more yarn. Of course, they didn't have the same yarn. So his socks have a contrasting toe. It's the same colors, completely different pattern. He thinks it's hilarious. I find it annoying. So I like 2 at a time toe up because I just knit till I run out of yarn. I also like doing them at once so they're the same size. One of my other things I really like about this particular book of patterns is Melissa Morgan Oakes does basically a custom fit calculation. So I know if I'm knitting socks for myself or my 2 children, size 7, we do a 5.1 inch toe to gusset. If I'm knitting for my friend Jenny, it's 5.7 inches. For my friend Julie is 5.9. And for my husband is 6.8. So I really love that. As somebody with a smaller foot, that 6.5 to 7 range, socks are often too big. So I love being able to knit socks that fit my feet perfectly. It's my little advertisement for Mud Punch yarn and toe up 2 at a time socks. The other project I'm working on is a Polka hat from Moon and Turtle. And this is by Kiyomi and Sachiko Bergen. The Polka hat is, so it's yarn knit in 2 halves, right? So you start the first half in a smooth fingering, again, inside out because I use magic loop. And then you do a provisional cast on, you knit up, and then you do your decreases. Then you unpick this provisional cast on, and then you're going to start this way in a mohair. So you have a smooth fingering and a mohair. And then you can decide which side you want outside, which side you want inside. You can flip. I do the longer version, so you can flip it up and have a contrasting cuff. This is my second time knitting the Polka hat, and I love the pattern. I love how it turned out. Their decreases are really nice for 4-point decrease. They look really good. Another knitting friend of mine has it and recommended it, and I love it. And I have to say, there are quite a few things in here I plan to knit. One of the next things I plan to knit, throw this out there and just share it with the world, is, hold on, I'm getting there. It's a cabled cardigan from here, from this book. And what I love about it is that the cables, if you can see there, they are not completely matching. They're not completely symmetrical. And I just think that adds the coolest little twist. I mean, look at this. Look at how sharp that is. And it's just got this additional little quirkiness to it. It's interesting lighting there, Heather. It's got this additional quirk to it in that they are not completely symmetrical. Love it. And I'm going to be making that. It's in the queue, right? It's in the queue. I'll be knitting gifts for a while. But I will dive into another sweater once I'm done with my Christmas gift giving knitting and then January birthdays. There's a lot of those in my family. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that cabled cardigan or if I'm going to do a pullover. Got a lot of options. I have a fairly big stash. I've got some nice sweater quantities and I've got lots of ideas. So it's really figuring out kind of what inspires me next time. Well, speaking of inspiration, I hope you have found some inspiration with the outfits that I showed with my Worsted Boxy 3 ways. I appreciate you joining me for my first episode of Wear Your Damn Knits. Take care and keep on knitting. I'll see you next time.